Hello, and welcome to MTI Matters, a series of programs focusing on the alumni of Manatee Technical Institute and how their training at MTI has made a difference in their lives. My name is Kathy Matthews. I am a career counselor, former instructor, and alumni of MTI. Today, we are departing from our regular format to give you a sneak preview of the MTI campus scheduled to open in January 2013. Come along with us to see how the project is progressing.
Now we are here with Doug Wagner with the Manatee County School District. Doug, what is your position with the school district?
Thank you, Virginia. My position is the Director of Adult Career and Technical Education here in Manatee County.
And in that position, you are really looking at the overall aspects of education and training for the county, but you look beyond that to the state and the region. Can you tell me how MTI matters in the scheme of things?
Absolutely. MTI is one of 44 technical institutes here in the state of Florida. We provide post-secondary training, and we allow students at the high school and also students who have graduated to come to MTI to receive their training. And our motto is, if you give us a year, we'll give you a career.
And how does this affect the economic development of the state, the region, and the county?
Absolutely, Virginia. That's a great question. You know, here at MTI, we're about providing world-class training for our citizens. And our goal is to have the citizens graduate from MTI with a credential that will allow them to work anywhere in the country and maybe even the world as well.
That's quite an ambition. And speaking of ambition, we are standing here at the site of the brand new technical center for MTI. Can you tell me how this project came to be?
Absolutely. You know, MTI was built in 1963. The current MTI was 1963. And we needed to find a location that was more centrally located to serve all this community here of Manatee County. And so this actually was our second site. Our first site was behind Braden River High School. And the school board and the community came together and said we needed to be up front on State Road 70 so that everybody could find where MTI is going to be located. So this is a site they decided on, and this actually is the best site for the entire county, so people can find us, and we're easy accessible to State Road 70 and I-75.
I expect with a project this size that there were some roadblocks along the way. Do you want to address some of those?
Absolutely. Well, some of the roadblocks were the location of this facility. We needed to be closer to State Road 70, and so now we decided on being on State Road 70, so we're close to I-75 and centrally located for the entire Manatee County. Other roadblocks would be the size of facility. We needed to have a facility that not only met today's demands, but also the future. And we believe that having a facility that was expanded would allow that to happen.
You mentioned accessibility to the facility. People, of course, there's plenty of parking. They're going to be able to park their cars here. What about public transportation? Is that in the works for this area?
Absolutely. Public transportation is critical to the success of MTI. We want to make it so all citizens in Manatee County can be accessible and come here to MTI. So we're looking to expand public transportation out this way. We're working with the local partners to try to make that happen.
Terrific. And do you think that the new facility will in any way change the demographic of the makeup of MTI?
Absolutely. Having a new facility located here will allow greater participation from our high school students who will be able to come since it's more centrally located. And we think that once people see what's happening at MTI and see the new facility, they'll be lining up at the door to get in here.
So what is your vision for MTI in the future?
Absolutely. MTI is here to meet and exceed the local workforce demands for training. And we're going to do that. We're doing it now, but with this current campus, we're going to be able to do that. And also, hopefully, it'll bring in more businesses and industries to Manatee County once they see what we're capable of doing here. We can train for any occupation that comes through the door.
So, Mr. Wagner, why does MTI matter?
Right, Virginia, that's a great question, and there's two main reasons why it matters. Number one, we need to meet and exceed our local workforce demands. Number two, we need to have our students get to work, and we're here to train them so that they can find a job, find a career, and stay here in Manatee County.
Now we are here with Dr. Mary Cantrell, Director of Manatee Technical Institute. Dr. Cantrell's focus is on the training, the skills, and the total institutional education of students in Manatee County. So Dr. Cantrell, how does MTI matter to all of these constituents?
I think the thing about Manatee Tech and why it should matter is, you know, when you need a plumber, who are you going to call? Someone we have trained. You know, if you are involved in an accident and the paramedics show up, that's somebody we train. And you know, if you need a police officer, again, that's someone we train. So we're working with our community to provide you the best trained, skilled person available.
And knowing you as well as I do, although you're interested in the actual training, your heart is with the human side of this. You care about each person. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
I think what's important when you look at a student is look beyond what you're seeing. Because, you know, when a student comes to Manatee Tech, they're there for a reason. And sometimes life hasn't been really good to them up to that point. And they need to exit feeling better about who they are and knowing they have the right skills. Knowing, okay, I know how to work as part of a team. I know how to be, cooperatively to get what I need by providing what someone else may need. So it's the teamwork and working together, respect for self, respect for your community. That's what we're trying to embed in. Giving back to your community. We do community service, we do service learning. What we're looking is the total student. How can we help this person get to where they want to be?
And how do you think this new facility is going to encourage students to find their true potential?
You know, every Thursday I come out here because we have a meeting. I put on my hard hat and my shoes and everything, and I walk through. What a wonderful, wonderful facility this is going to be. Our existing facility was built in 1963. We do have an east campus in Lakewood Ranch, and that was built, you know, all in the year 2000 and later. It's sort of like, yes, we did it right for the nursing program and the health programs and the fire academy and the police academy, but what about the rest? What about our students, that everything from air conditioning to welding? Did you forget us? And I never once forgot them. We've been working on it, and so January 2013 we'll be in this building, and this building will reflect the esteem that Manatee County School Board and superintendents have had in those technical trades by providing this facility. And every time I walk through, it's just a dream come true.
Now we know that Manatee Tech is more than a building and the students. There are some very dedicated instructors and hardworking staff. What's this going to mean to them?
Well, I will tell you, they did feel like they were left out, and when we opened everything at the three buildings over at the East Campus, you know, it was hard because we thought that we would have this one first, but it is such a dedicated staff. And the staff there, they never let down. They continued to work. They continued to do their very best and prepare students to be competitive on a national level. We take great pride in the fact that we do compete on a national level. You know, as long as you stay in Manatee County, yes, we're preparing you for local jobs, but this is a very mobile society. So if you leave Manatee County, we don't want you to, because this is a great place to live and grow up, but if you do leave, we want you to leave with a credential. And our instructors have worked to get all of their programs certified by a national body. So like automotive is NATEF. Our culinary program is certified by American Culinary Federation. And then our graduates, when they graduate, we want them to leave with that national credential. That can't happen without a very dedicated staff. And MTI has the best with whom I've ever worked.
I know this is going to sound redundant, but how excited are you about this new facility?
How excited? Okay. You know, there were some dark days. I didn't think it was going to happen. We were involved in lawsuits, and it just, you know, I saw the East Campus go up, and I thought, you know, we're just not going to do it for these industrial trades. It's, you know, when you walk into some of those classes, they're not pretty and clean and shiny. And I'm a great believer in Walt Disney. And when I was a little kid, I remember going to see Cinderella, and the song, "A Dream is a Wish Your Heart Makes." Well, in those dark days when I didn't think we were going to get a campus and that we were going to stay in that buildings built in 1963 that were crumbling around us, and that the district kept, every time they'd come to fix something, they would say, "We're going to tear it down." I thought, they're going to tear it down around me. I would sing that song, "A Dream's a Wish Your Heart Breaks." And the last lines are, no matter how your heart is grieving, if you keep believing, the dream that you wished for will come true. And I am so grateful. It's not just my dream, but all the people that made the dream come true. The superintendents, the school board, you know, our advisory committee, the MTI Board of Governors, the instructors, and the students even that hung in there in our buildings and believed in that dream. And our dream is coming true. That's how excited I am.
And when will your dream actually come true when you're located right here?
This construction will complete. We're scheduled for completion October 31st, Halloween. So we'll probably have a Halloween party first. But then the transition of moving and not disrupting a single student's education. So what we'll do is we will be packing, and the district will be moving things over. And January the 3rd, we will be here January the 3rd, 2013. That's right around the corner.
And when you're on the new campus, you did mention that it's one of several in the MTI school district. Can you talk about how it fits in with the other campuses?
This will be the MTI main campus, but we all work together. It takes a team. And when we're competing in HOSA, or whether we're competing in skills, or whether we're preparing people for national certification, it's always a team. But finally, we're going to have a place where we can actually we always have a Thanksgiving luncheon where we invite our retirees and all the staff, and we also have a Christmas party for the staff. Now we have a place where we can really do that without everybody sitting real tight. But our corporate culture is still here. We are who we are, and that's not going to change. It's in our bones, and who we are, it's going to stay who we are. And our job is to make sure that culture stays with us, of being the best that you can be, reach your full potential.
And being the best you can be, right at the moment, you're 8-time Skills USA champions and #1 in HOSA. Do you think that with the new facility, the state competition might come back to MTI?
Well, we did host it for many years, and it moved to Pensacola. I do hope that someday that they will look at this for state competition again. This building was truly designed to host state competition. When you look down the hallway, you'll see all these windows, and there's windows so that you can see what's happening in that classroom. Those were actually, that design came from the students when we did focus groups. And the students said, no one can see what we're doing. So Foley Bryant made sure everybody can see what they're doing. And if we can rehost it, that will be great. But you know what? It doesn't matter where they have the competition. We were winning so many medals at state, they thought, oh, they must be cheating. I would never cheat. But, you know, if they think that, then we'll go somewhere else. And, of course, we whooped up on them again. And we're going to go to national. We want to be, this our 9th year. And last year, second place won 19 medals, and we won 90 medals, so we beat them by 71 medals. So I think that maybe we can do it again. I hope. I pray.
I expect so. And now that your dream has come true, what's the next vision you have for MTI?
Well, I have some other things I have already working on. In our criminal justice program, we do not have a certifiable driving pad that's critical for our law enforcement officers in this area. Also, our firing range is not state-of-the-art. It is kind of crumbling around me. So those two things, we're looking at how can we get a state-of-the-art driving pad so that our officers, these are two high liability areas, and that puts our officers at risk if they're not fully trained, puts our agencies at risk if we don't have trained people. And training an officer and a deputy, it's not a one-shot deal. They have to be retrained and recertified every year on their shooting skill and also their driving skill to make sure everybody's safe. So that's kind of topping my things. Looking at, are there ways that we can, we still don't have a real home for adult ed, so we need a real home for adult ed. We have the North Campus, but it's real small right now, and I have about 800 adult ed students during the day I need to take care of. So we're trying to work all of that. And you know, when you look at the cost, and right now these are very rough economic times, this school is an excellent investment by tax dollars. The price per square foot to build this building is less than the cost per square foot that Manatee County Schools spent for the latest elementary school. So when we can build this for less per square foot than an elementary school, I think that's saying something. And what we want to be good stewards of tax dollars. None of the local tax dollars from the school board, other than for construction, are spent at MTI. All of our money is a line item from the state, and that's what we have to operate on. And our job is to make certain that we do operate on that and give our community the very best training.
And I'm sure you will. Before we let you go, in a few words, why does MTI matter?
Oh, why does MTI matter? Why would it matter to a student that comes to us broken, that they get a skill and for the first time they have a career in front of them? Why did MTI matter to Sheriff Brad Stubbe, who came to MTI, became a law enforcement deputy, and is now the sheriff of Manatee County? What did it mean to Mike Bryant, who came here as a high school student and now was the architect that designed this facility? What does it matter? It matters whether we have a safe community, if we have a community where we can give young people a skill where they can stay in this community, and our community can recruit large companies to come here. We matter.
Well, thank you so much for your leadership, and thank you for allowing us to join you out here today.
Oh, thank you.
We'll be right back. And here we are upstairs in the new facility at MTI, and we are very happy to be talking to the architect of this brand new campus, Mr. Mike Bryant of Foley Bryant Architects. Mike, you've been with us and with this project from the very beginning. Tell us how it all came about.
Well, thank you, Virginia. We started MTI almost 10 years ago when they asked us to think about renovating the campus. We then engaged this was the old campus on 34th Street. We then engaged, they then just had some other thoughts about the campus. And really the school district created a vision for MTI that they wanted to create a globally recognized facility. They had a grander vision for the future of MTI than what the 34th Street campus was and could be. So we engaged the community in a dialogue that started to define what MTI should be and where it should be. And through that process, we talked with local businesses, the chambers, educators, students. We talked to everybody. And what came about from that discussion was that it would be better if we want to recognize that vision of a globally recognized facility, that we need to build a new facility, a new building. So we went through a process of doing just that. And so it's been It's been about 8 to 10 years to get to this point, but we all think and know we made the right decision. That's for the better and for the better future of MTI.
This place is massive. How big is it?
It is. It's a building that's approximately 215,000 square feet. The choice during the design process, when we were engaging all these people, was that we wanted a building under one roof, so all the students could travel easily, safely, and quickly between classes. But more importantly, part of the design, and this really came from one of the students during this process. One of the students said, "I would like to know, or I think you should put windows in every classroom, so when we walk by, we can see what goes on in there. And maybe that would cue my interest in that program." So a very unique feature about this school is that as you walk around through all the corridors, you're going to see these wonderful windows that look into the labs, and you're going to be able to see and know what's going on in the building. So again, it's about 215,000 square feet. There's, when we designed it, we thought about the curriculum. The school board thought about the curriculum, what programs they should have. But because we're thinking so far into the future, they did say that we should design these spaces for flexibility, because we know the workforce needs are going to change, so we're going to have to adapt and change as well. So a lot of the rooms you're going to see are going to be large open spaces that can easily be adaptable in the future for changing programs.
Speaking of programs, there are quite a number that are going to be housed in this facility, and I'd like to talk about some of the challenges you had to accommodate each of these. First of all, down there I understand that is the machining laboratory. Why is it so large?
Well, that's the precision machining lab, which is only one of two in the state, and it's a very detailed, very precise, just as the name tells you, for computer-aided machining of parts and equipment. It's large equipment. There's computers that it hooks into. It sits on certain isolation pads that reduce vibration, and it's just a lot of big state-of-the-art equipment.
And do you think because it's only one of two in the state that it might be able to attract students from other areas other than Manatee County?
Absolutely. We have, our community is changing in terms of the kind of industry that we want to attract. We want to attract those manufacturers that are clean, and this indeed will do that.
Well, going to a little softer program, let's talk about the cosmetology labs, where you're dealing with hair styling, skin care, mani-pedis. What were the challenges there?
Well, cosmetology is a moneymaker for the campus. It's open to the public. They provide all these treatments at a cost to the public, and of course, secondarily, it allows the students to have that training. There's some things that they do that are private, so we put them behind closed doors. But then there are things that they do. Again, you can walk down these corridors and look inside, and you can see the hair care stations and such, and it's really a very engaging space.
Speaking of having programs available to the community, I understand that the Culinary Institute here is amazing. Do you want to talk a little bit about what you've done with that?
The culinary is, I think everybody knows how successful they've been in the future, even on the national level with some certain television stars and former students. Culinary was a big deal. Culinary was a main focus of this campus because it's so successful, because the teachers are so good. You can see even this space here. This is the main hall where you enter the facility, and culinary is one of the first spaces that you see. In this main hall, we're able to seat at tables close to 400 people, so they'll be able to serve not only the campus population, but also visitors. And even secondarily to that, this main hall that you see, this they'll use for public functions, for trade fairs, job openings. They're going to use it for Skills USA, which the district is 9 times champion, I think. Hopefully coming up. so this space is going to be a very important space for MTI, but I think it's going to be a very important space for the community to use as well.
And now that we're upstairs, there are some other types of labs, especially for business technology, web design, networking. Were there any special issues?
Well, there are. You know, we have really two kind of spaces that we've designed here. One are the more clean and quiet, and then there's the spaces where you kind of get down and dirty sometimes, like construction and stuff like that. So we put all the computer labs up here on the second floor. We have web design, we have computer training labs, and I think we have like 8 or 10 labs up here. So it's all state of the art. Part of the design, you know, the school board recognized that education is going more towards a collaborative effort. So we've designed breakout spaces to where the students can work together on their assignments, not just by themselves. So I think this will be maybe cutting edge is an overused term, but I think this is going to be a very cutting edge school.
And speaking of cutting edge technology, I'm sure that in the design and creation of this building, your firm did use a lot of the latest technology, but I'm kind of curious. It seems to me I heard that at one point you resorted to the barn raising method of erecting the walls.
So we didn't really build a barn, but this campus is unique in the sense that yes, we did have to design a very energy efficient building, but we also had to design a very durable building that would last for a long time. So this is one of the first buildings that the district has built that has used what we call a composite sandwich panel concrete wall system, which is essentially 2 concrete panels that sandwich an insulation layer in between. So we have some very durable surfaces on the inside and outside, but then we have some high efficiency insulation on the inside. So it serves those dual purposes.
But how were they erected?
They were erected like you erect a barn. you kind of pour them on the ground, wait till they cure, and then you tilt them up. You tilt them up with a crane.
Being here on the west coast of Florida, what about hurricane durability?
All right, the hurricanes, you know, the code is pretty specific on what we have to do. While we tried to introduce as much glass as we could for natural light, like you can see in this space, of course all that glass has to be hardened. So this building will withstand the new hurricane codes.
And what about codes for being a green building?
Being a green building, you know, this again, the energy efficiency in terms of the glass too. I mean, it's a high efficiency glass. We use high efficiency equipment, air conditioning equipment. The walls are over insulated. So the electric bill down the road for the school board is going to be something very different than what they're used to.
And they'll be very happy for that. Yeah. Well, actually, you are in a very unique position in that you are a graduate of MTI. When you started back in your drafting class the first day, if someone would have told you that one day you would have designed not 1 but 2 campuses for MTI, what would you have told them?
I would have never imagined it. I would have never imagined it. The school district has been very generous to myself and to our company. I went to MTI when I was in high school at Manatee High. At that time, I needed a little bit direction on what I wanted to do. Fortunately, there was a guidance counselor there who saw that, and I took a 2-year program while I was at high school at MTI. And I think that's where I met one of my first mentors, in terms of people who really change your life. And he was the drafting instructor. He gave me he opened my eyes to what the profession could be, and he opened my eyes also to what my abilities could be. So beyond MTI, I went to, at that time, Manatee Junior College. After that, of course, had another couple of mentors that influenced me, and then went on to University of Florida and Virginia Tech for a master's in architecture.
Then did you immediately start?
I did. It has always been a passion for me to have my own office. Once I got licensed, I opened my office 1 year later, and that was back in 1986. And then my partner and I, Rick Fawley, joined up. Because at that time, it was back in 1994, the school board was getting ready to do the first big major renovation to Manatee High. And my partner and I decided, let's join our firms. We can beat the big boys to get this job, the big firms, and we did. We ended up getting the job. So I got to not only do this project in my career, but I also had the opportunity to go back to Manatee High and design a major project for that as well.
Well, you seem to want to be giving back to those who helped you, and you are president of the fledgling MTI Alumni Association. Do you have any message for the alums out there?
Well, I think you started the conversation off right. I think when you're the recipient of a lot of good, especially from educators, you want to return it when you have that position, and that's been a goal of mine, is to return all the good things that have happened, that have been given to me through this community. One way to give back is to help organize and start the MTI Alumni Association, where we can provide through that association the opportunity for graduates to give back to MTI, and also for the current students to help them with scholarships. So I am very proud of being a part of this fledgling organization, and it's up and running.
And you're also a board member on the MTI Foundation. So in your capacity with both the Alumni Association and the Foundation, what is your vision for MTI of the future?
I think my vision kind of runs parallel with the district. I mean, I was really quite impressed when, 8 or 10 years ago, they had a larger vision for MTI than what it was. And when they say they want a facility that's globally recognized, we all took that to heart. We took that as our vision and as our mission, and that's why this building is what it is today. That's still my vision and mission for MTI, is to take it far beyond where it is today.
And in a few words, why does MTI matter to you?
MTI is probably, it matters to me, as I said, educators have been the most influential people in my life, whether it be at high school, MTI, or university. So for MTI, they were a big part of who I am today and why I'm standing here talking to you.
And we're glad you are. Thank you very much. And here we are outside of the brand new MTI campus. We are now talking with Steve Osborne. Steve, can you tell us what your connection with this project is and what you're doing now?
Yeah, at the time, I was working for Foley Bryan Architects as one of their CAD designers, and now I have moved on to Bessler Design Group in St. Pete.
And what exactly were you doing with this project?
I started from the beginning. I did all the 3D renderings that were shown to everybody, and also I did worked on the plan work from schematic design all the way through construction documents.
Must be pretty exciting to see it come into fruition.
Yeah, it is pretty nice, and seeing it drive by it every day, it's pretty nice seeing it go up.
But you have another connection to MTI. You also started here as a student. Do you want to tell us a little bit about how you got to MTI?
Yeah, actually I was doing the drafting program at high school, in Southeast High School here, and I did it for all 3 years, and after my senior year they offered us to go to MTI, so that's where I spent half my senior year was at the main campus in Bradenton.
So Steve, when you were at MTI, did you participate in any of the skills competitions?
Yes, at the time it was still called VICA, and I was a member of the opening and closing ceremonies, and we did local, and we went to state, and we actually went to Kansas City.
And what does VICA stand for?
Vocational Industrial Clubs of America.
And you competed for the opening and closing, or you were part of it?
I was competing with it.
And what type of competition was it?
It's a public speaking where you have a team of, I believe it was 7 people, and each person had a public speaking part that we had to go up to a podium and speak.
And how did you do?
We didn't place at nationals.
But you placed at state. You were number 1 at state.
Yes, we were number 1 at state.
And what was your journey after leaving MTI?
I found a job through the school working for metal building company, a satellite office that was based out of Houston. And I worked there for a little over 5 years, and then went from there to another local company called Trident. And once I left there, that's where I made the jump to Foley Bryan Architects. And, that's where I spent 6 years working for them, and left there about a year ago. Now I'm at Buslow Design Group.
And you were also an outstanding alumni from MTI. You received an award a few months ago. I think that was because of your activities with the MTI Alumni Association. You are on the board of directors, you're chair of the communications committee, and you're on the drafting advisory board. Can you tell us a little bit about some of your activities with these?
Yeah, the advisory board that I'm a part of, it's made up of a group of local representatives who we sit down twice a year. We review the program and see what adjustments need to be taken to help benefit the students. The communications committee that I work with, it's we meet once a month, and we try to go over what we need to add to the website, keep the website up to date, put job postings on there, upcoming events for not just us but also for the school itself.
So this is a service to MTI from the Alumni Association.
Yes, definitely.
And what do you see as your vision for MTI as an active person in its programs and activities?
I think the new campus that's being built, it's going to be a state-of-the-art building, and I think it's going to really draw more students. It's a little more centrally located by the interstate, so hopefully it'll pull more students from down south and up north.
And why does MTI matter to you?
It really matters to me because it's kind of where I got my start. It's where right out of high school, it's gave me my start in my career. And I really enjoyed my time there and the instructors there, and I still enjoy going back and meeting with students and helping out as much as I can.
And if you have any advice to students who might be considering a career, what would you tell them?
I would definitely consider going to MTI. It's a great place that everybody's helpful, and it definitely can get you a good start in a career.
We hope this brief visit has piqued your curiosity about MTI and how it matters to our community. If you are an MTI graduate and have a story to tell, we'd like to hear from you. Please visit our website shown on your screen. Or if you are interested in learning more about programs at MTI, please visit our website also shown on your screen. Until next time, I am Kathy Matthews, reminding all of us that MTI matters.